Hello and welcome everybody in today's episode. So today I would like to talk about a very important topic, which is a burning topic in Pakistan. People are talking about it. Some group of people, they are in favor of it and some are against of it, and that is HPV vaccine. So I would like to give some information and would like to touch upon some myths and facts. So what is HPV? HPV is a human papilloma virus, a group of more than 200 related viruses. Some common type cause like warts, while other cause genital warts. Certain high risk type can lead to cancer, especially like let's say cervical cancer, most common, and like throat and mouth cancers as well. Some causes of HPV virus could be a sort of a sexual contact and some non-sexual contact as well, like skin to skin contact. And of course, there's another issue, which is like weakened immune system. So then there are some other reasons, which maybe some other time we would discuss, maybe in group discussion. So for this HPV, one vaccine has also been introduced. Vaccine which protects against the types of HPV, most common cancer, genital warts, that is Gardasil 9. And this is the recent one, which covers 9 HPV types, including a high-risk ones, which are 16 and 18, responsible for about 70% of cervical cancer. So it is more effective as compared to the previous Gardasil, and now covering 90% of cervical cancers and high risk of cancers as well. So now the question is, who should get it? A myth is that only girls should get it, but in fact, this vaccine is for girls and boys both, age to 14, before exposure to HPV through sort of sexual contact. And it can also be given to age 26 if missed earlier, and of course adults up to 45 years of age as well, being advised by doctors. I wouldn't go much in detail about the doses, but like it have got 2 doses and 3 doses style system as well. So now let's see some benefits as well. So the benefits would be, of course, a strong protection against cervical cancer and other HPV related cancers, prevents 90% of genital warts, and long-lasting immunity. But we shouldn't forget that we would have to get boosters of it, of course, because the sort of effect or effectiveness for this vaccine would not last forever. So definitely, accordingly, we'll have to get the booster doses. Now, let's talk about the main issue about the side effects. So the side effects could be, because we did also notice same like some sort of common side effects, which when we were having the COVID-19 vaccine, so being told that we might have like pain, redness or swelling at the injection site where would be injected, and could have mild fever, headache or fatigue. So these are sort of like common side effects. And I still remember the time that like when we had vaccine of COVID-19, so they didn't let us go, and they made us sit for about 15 minutes to just have a look, have a check that we are fine. Then we were allowed to go. So of course side effects do have of any sort of especially for this sort of vaccine, let's say for example COVID-19. Okay. Some myths and facts. Now let's discuss some myths and facts. So the myth is the vaccine causes infertility, and the fact is no evidence supports this. It protects fertility by preventing cancers that might require hysterectomy. Another myth is only this vaccine is only for girls, which is also a myth. But the fact is, boys also need protection, so they can also get, this HPV vaccine, not to develop cancer. So now the need when I felt it like to make this video in regards for cervical cancer and its vaccine, because now still mandate had been done or no, I have to find out about it, but still the campaign has started that they want more than like 90% of their girls to be vaccinated with this HPV virus. But before that, I wanted to bring some data here as well, like to share data that almost what is it that people are talking about it, and what's the data were showing about HPV cervical cancer patients in Pakistan. I did find out some sites, and through citing I'm saying this, that Dawn published that each year about 5,000 women in Pakistan are diagnosed with cervical cancer. Around 3,000 women die annually from cervical cancer in Pakistan. Cervical cancer is the third most frequent cancer in the country. And of course, the main, the sort of the dangerous one are the 16 and 18. So now you have to remember that in your mind about the figure, the data, that 5,000 women each year. But then what about breast cancer? Won't we have a look towards the breast cancer data, patients being affected with that? Let's have a look. Now, if I compare the breast cancer spread in Pakistan, it's about like most common cancer among women in Pakistan. In 2020, about 26,000 women were diagnosed. 2020, right? It's the fifth year, like 2025. 2020, 26,000 women were diagnosed, and 13,500 deaths concerned from breast cancer in Pakistan. Incidence rate are high in Karachi, for example, 69.1 per 100,000 women per year. That's the rate of breast cancer patient in Pakistan, and women especially. So and the case, what's happening, that almost like at the age of 30s or 40s, these women's been diagnosed. Mortality rate is so higher. So when you compare this with HPV cases, I think breast cancer cases are more than that, and we should heed our attention towards breast cancer, not cervical cancer, where if we compare the data, it's more important that we should heed attention towards the breast cancer. I don't say that HPV is not a sort of ignorable virus. We should definitely, look into that. And for that, like here in South Africa, of course, and other countries as well, there's a PEP test called that. If we would implement that as well, through PEP test, early diagnosis can happen, and of course, can go for treatment. If I revise, breast cancer in Pakistan, 25,000 to 90,000 new cases each year, as compared to 5,000 new cases each year. Mortality rate 13,000 plus death, and comparatively, like when we see cervical cancer, 3,000 death each year. So now you can see the difference. Age at diagnosis, relatively younger, many women in 30 to 50 age of onset earlier than in many high-income countries. And cervical cancer tends to occur in adult women. Vaccine targeted at pre-adolescents to prevent future risk. So by looking at the data, breast cancer is a much larger current burden than cervical cancer in Pakistan in terms of number of cases and deaths. And because of that, public health effort must address it vigorously. Uh, I don't say, and we shouldn't ignore HPV, but for HPV, there's supposed to be the PEP test. There are a lot of things also, being engaged. I'm not gonna bring the Bill Gates here, of course, his involvement is there. Now, if I talk about the cultural difference compared to Western world to Eastern world, uh, our culture do not promote at young ages, let's say for example 9 to 14 ages of girls and boyfriends, which is a common culture in Western world. But here we have to keep one important point in notice, that our young children, they do not have a sort of like common boyfriends or girlfriends at this age. So that is very much important point, that of course, being Muslim and a Muslim country, we do believe that our children or our girls and boys are not at a risk of STI infection at early ages. When I talk about that, which countries have banned this HPV vaccine, like if I talk about big first world countries like UK, Canada, or US, they didn't ban actually, but people are talking about it because they suspect this vaccine could have severe side effects. So yeah, people are talking about it. And the country which banned actually was Japan in 2013. Japan Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare suspended its proactive recommendation for HPV vaccine after the reports in the media of alleged side effects, including pain. And for my information and investigation, when I did research, it was about like this vaccine being given to 2,000 girls and found severe sort of pain. I also did find out about India's being used as a guinea pig of one of India also did ban this vaccine because they also found when this vaccine been given to their girls, young girls, 7 that been occurred, and some other cases of sort of fever and pain complaints, including some other side effects as well. One book I also would like to read, but can give you the name for now, and maybe I would make a second video on this, that how Merck and drug regulators hit serious harms of the HPV vaccine. So I would definitely read this book and would give the review of this book as well. And then maybe the second episode, when I would make in regards with this vaccine, it would be in more detail, much more in detail. Now the point was making of this video was not to say something against this vaccine, but to bring the facts and figures in regards for this vaccine, and of course, the myths around it. So that was a purpose. But on the other hand, I do not say that we should ignore this virus, but definitely there are some other things as well of treating this virus that way, like as I gave you the example of pap smear. The last thing which I want to bring up here is something what is most importantly, because once if it would be a part of our immunization in Pakistan, so definitely it would be a sort of a kind of burden on Pakistani people. Once then that of course will have to be get vaccinated with this, and then there would be no choice, and of course we'll have to pay more money towards this thing, where I think that we should take more attention, or we should pay more attention towards the breast cancer comparatively to this vaccine. I can also talk about some ingredients what been used for this vaccine. Is one is L1 protein. Then there is another ingredient is that boosts the immune response is aluminum hydrophosphate sulfate. Stabilizer, other ingredients like sodium chloride, L-histidine, which is a sort of amino acid that stabilizes the vaccine, polysorbate 80 emulsifier. Then there is a sodium borate, which is a sort of a stabilizer, very small amount, and water for injection. So now there is a stabilizer. Then there is an adjuvant, which is a boost for immune response, and L1 protein is virus-like particle. So these are the active ingredients being used for this vaccine. I wouldn't go in more detail, otherwise my video would be more longer. I want to keep it short for now, but I am going to make few more videos where I would be discussing these ingredients in detail, about these chemicals and sort of the whole kind of combination of it. And one more thing, which I have to read that book, and of course I have to give you the review of that book as well, so probably would be helpful for us to understand. My purpose is to spread knowledge and awareness through bringing information, through sort of putting up the facts and figures in front of my viewers and audience. So now this is you to decide whether you're going to go for a sort of taking a wise decision, whether you have to go for this vaccine. So that is it for now, and I will see you guys in my next episode. Until you take good care of yourselves.